Good morning, dear participants. Thank you for being Shoe edX Talks. Today, we are very pleased to welcome Dr. Dimitri Taktmayer, a very special guest from Lanxess, Germany. Dr. Taktmayer is the Vice President of Industrial Relations and Global Product Development Clustering, as well as Business Unit Leader of Lanxess Company. He has a PhD degree from Witten-Herdecke University and has an excellent experience in leather business, more than 21 years. He has played an active role in associations related to leather chemistry, and tanning. He was the president of IULTC between 2015 and 2017, and he has many presentations and publications, mostly on sustainability of leather. And today, he will be sharing with us his expert opinion on the leather and sustainability. With that, I ask that you give your full attention to Dr. Taktmayer and help me in welcoming him to the stage. Dr. Taktmayer, stage is yours.
Okay, thank you for the flowers and this nice introduction. Actually, I got elected to the vice president first for at IORTCS in Turkey. Yeah, when we had our meeting in Istanbul at that point of time, there we in this executive committee has nominated me, and yeah, I'm a very good friend, or actually yes, from Volkan Chanda.
Yes.
He was the predecessor from myself. Yeah. Thanks here to my friends here in Turkey. Maybe some of you know me even personally, but yes, I'm happy to share my thoughts about sustainability and leather. Yeah, most of these things I'm going to say, I'm sure are somehow not, I hope, not new to you. But I think it's good to share our opinions in this field. And one or the other argument, I'm sure, will be new, and we all need to have the best arguments available to defend our leather. And that's why I really appreciate that you organized this session. I will try to share my screen now. It says disable to share. Hello?
Can you try again?
You can share.
Now. Your entire screen, application, window, here. Share. Good.
Yeah.
Can you see this?
Yes.
Okay, good. Then I continue, right?
Right.
Very good. Yes, I gave the presentation, the title, a question, leather and sustainability, is it a contradiction? Yeah, and let's see. I have looked for 6 different parameters. Yeah, the raw material origin, chemicals which are used to make leather, the water use, consumption. It's an important issue. Another aspect are byproducts, which is an important issue from the point of sustainability of the leather making process. Then very often used and misused by many brands, the carbon footprint. Here's how I see it, and I gave you some information about also studies, recent studies, and a very, very important argument and a good argument for the future, because here we have a chance against any synthetic materials is the biodegradability. So let's go further to the raw materials. I guess everyone has learned in school the biosynthesis, yeah, the photosynthesis. All plants are made out of CO2, water, and sunlight in the air, yeah, and also the grass. the grass, what the cattle is eating. The cattle is 100% vegan and just eats grass. And therefore, the entire body of an animal, including the skin, is actually made out of air. It's made out of CO2 in the air, nothing else, and water. And the stomach of a cow turns the carbohydrate into proteins. And of course, if the cow if the hide is used as leather, if this leather finally gets deteriorated or burned or something after use, it generates exactly the same amount of CO2 as it was built on. So this is a law of conservation of mass. That's a natural law. And therefore, the entire collagen is a CO2 neutral material. This is very, very important. And this is a big advantage because climate neutral will become one of the buzzwords in the next 10 years. And if you compare leather with a synthetic material, it's a linear process. It's not a circular process. All synthetic materials are made somehow out of oil. And the oil comes out of the ground, and it's a carbon sink for million and million of years. We take it out and we convert it into chemicals, petrochemicals. The petrochemicals are converted into synthetic materials like synthetic leather or fibers. And either they end up in the ocean, because they are not naturally, they are synthetic. So the biomass, all the microns and enzymes can't digest this material. They are endless, and that's why they are ending up in the ocean. They don't biodegrade, or very, very difficult to biodegrade. Or the material after use gets incinerated, and then you generate CO2. The same amount CO2 which you have taken out of the ground, you are adding up in the atmosphere, and therefore it is additional CO2 which contributes to the climate warming. So this process is a circular process. It's climate neutral, and this is not climate neutral. This is a big difference between collagen as a material and synthetic materials, and a big difference in terms of an advantage for our material, because the world wants and needs to be climate neutral. From this from this aspect, I have to say, our raw material origin is from a climate perspective a very, very good one. It's neutral, and we can mark it with a green button. Let's have a look on chemicals. Chemicals are used in many aspects. We need the chemicals to turn the hide into the durable material leather. Actually, we preserve the hide. We need the chemicals to provide to give a character to this leather. Filling, dyeing, fat liquoring, and so on. We need the chemicals also to upgrade a hide. We can eliminate surface defects with chemicals and upgrade the surface and increase actually the cutting yield out of leather. And then also chemicals, they are generating the technical performance, waterproofing, abrasion, and hydrolysis, and whatever. This is all defined by the chemicals the tanner is going to use. So you can say without chemicals, no leather. It's extremely important, the role of chemicals. And actually, if you weight a piece of leather, 1 square meter is around about 1 kg of leather. about 30 to 40% of this 1 kg are incorporated or attached chemicals. Yeah? It's a lot. So we from the chemical industry, we also are thinking, of course, since 10, 15 years, very much how we can make those chemicals as sustainable as possible. And there we have two aspects. Yeah, we want to make them as natural as possible. Yeah, we want to maximize the amount of chemicals which comes out of nature and is climate neutral, and it's not coming out of oil. And we want to make them, of course, as harmless as possible for consumers and for workers. So we use a lot of enzymes, proteins, waxes, casein, starch, veg tanning, cellulose, lignin, zeolite, and minerals. And this is very much different from the chemistry. The chemistry portfolio for leather is very much different than the chemical portfolio for synthetic materials. Yeah, that's why the amount of bio-based chemicals in the leather industry is much higher, and therefore I believe this is a very good this is a very good balance. So, but we have to make sure also that those chemicals which we are use that they are that they are in use. Yeah, that a tanner who makes a leather really is using the right chemicals, because to be honest, there are even bad chemicals in the markets, yeah, which are not up to date from a restriction point of view. And here we in the leather industry, we support the ZDHC. This is the Zero Discharge Hazardous Chemical Roadmap to Zero program. You can find it in the internet if you do not know. And they have made restriction list for chemicals, what that is allowed to be in and to what limits. And they are making a wide list of commercial products, Tanigan BN or Aquaderm, a finished product, a wax or so, you know. The products a tanner can buy, they are listed at ZDHC, and ZDHC is auditing that the content of these products are in line with their with their restricted substances list. So if a tanner is purchasing chemicals which are in this ZDHC whitelist, then a product, yeah, then he is in a good shape, yeah, and he can be sure he is in on a sustainable side. And this is a very good program, in still developing, and lots of, I think 20, 30,000 chemical products have been listed already on this list. And actually everything what you need for making a good leather is available there. And that's something I would really recommend to the tanners to use. It's available, this ZDHC list of chemicals, to everyone. So if you do this, you can also say chemicals, they are on the on a green side. Now let's go to the next point. Now someone is calling me from Turkey. I will push him away. Now let's have a look on water. Water is required to make leather, yes, and it's more water required to make a leather than a synthetic material. On the other hand, instead of water, synthetic materials are using solvents. Yeah, I don't think this is a better choice. Yeah, and if you look how much water is used for leather, then you see in the internet, yeah, water footprint. It's about 17,000 liters of water which has been used, and this is a lot, you know. This here we have to explain this, you know. 17,000 liters, yes, it's somehow involved in making a piece of leather, a square meter of leather, but this is not processed
Ya
water.
yok takmak değil, hani bir şey fix edecekse eğer, edebiliyorsak, hani bir şey varsa aynen anlamadığımı dile getirip şey yapıyorum. Yok, cevap vermedim.
Hello, is there a problem? Hello,
You can
is there
continue.
a problem?
No, just a participant opened mic, so you can continue now.
Okay, very good. So out of these 17,000 liters of water, only 1 or 200 liters of water are used in cannery. This is not very much. Sorry, can you mute? I am hear you speaking in the back. Only 1% of this 17,000 liters is used as processed water in a tannery. So where does this other water come from? And about 95% of this water from the 17,000 liters, which you find in the internet, is used for leather, is just rainwater. Rainwater to grow in the photosynthesis, as mentioned before, the grass, which is eaten by an animal. And I mean, this rainwater falls regardless if there is an animal on the grass and eating the grass and so on. So this for me is not processed water. So you have to be very careful if you talk about a water footprint. And for me, the current product category rules to measure this water footprint, they are not okay. They are not in line from a sustainable evaluation point of view. And this is an important message to everyone that you pass it on. Yeah, if they are saying leather requires so much water, here, look in this database, you know, first of all, the number is not right. And these 100 and 200 liters per square meter leather, if you compare this, for example, to a cotton, a textile, a denim jeans requires more than 1,100 liters of water for 1 square meter of textile. Yeah, so therefore water is in a much better shape. Leather is in a much better shape, and I believe we can also mark this item with a green button. This is not a negative aspect of the leather manufacturing process. Coming to the next topic, which is not very often taken into account. These are the byproducts. Yeah, if a tanner purchases 10 tons of raw material to turn it into leather, he is selling only, let's say, 2 or 3 tons out of the volume he has purchased as genuine leather. Yeah, about 7 tons are byproduct. A big portion is water, that's right, but there is also a lot of other byproducts and shavings, trimmings, liming, and all this, all hairs. Yeah, you know this all. And I mean, to be honest, if you want to call a process sustainable, and you are using only 20 to 30% out of the volume what you purchase, and the rest you put somehow to waste, this can't be a sustainable process. So what the leather industry needs to do for me is they need to look up about further use of the byproducts. And these byproducts are proteins. Proteins, keratins, yeah, this is a highly valuable raw material. And there are many applications what you can do with it. And this process then is upcycling. Yeah, if you have a byproduct which you use for something else, you upcycle it and not recycle it, you upcycle it. And this upcycling is very, very essential for the leather industry. And here we are working from the chemical industry together with many tanneries around the world in order to somehow generate a value out of these byproducts. And if you do this, then of course it's a sustainable balance. All these byproducts are used as well, and that's how it has to be. And we can make a green mark on this. Coming to the next, the carbon footprint. This is also a big story. And here I want to briefly look into a study which was done in Germany, Miss Jutta Knödler. has done the study, and she benchmarked different seed materials and the carbon footprint of those. And also, I want to point out a study which was recently issued in the European Union, the leather product environmental footprint category rules, and they are different from the ones which a lot of brands are using. Have a look at these cradle to grave, as she said, or as it is told. Yeah, product carbon footprint assessment. Everything is cradle to grave, means everything is covered. Yeah? The production of chemicals which have been used, the production of the raw materials, transportation, the production of the material itself, the leather or the artificial leather, the wastewater treatment, the use of this material, which actually is in all examples the same, with 8.1 kilogram CO2 equivalents per square meter for the lifetime. Yeah, this is an automotive leather. Yeah, they have taken the weight and the average mileage a car is running, and then they have calculated how much this is the impact is, and of course the final disposal. This is very, very important. If you incinerate the product, yeah, I come to this. So if you compare PVC, PU-coated, cotton, polyester, night-woven materials, then you see, if you, I don't go in this step by step, but she made it the CO2 footprint for each step, yeah, in the whole chain, as I explained before, cradle to grave. And in a PVC and PU-coated leather, you are in an area of 16 kg of CO2 equivalents per square meter, including these 8.1 for use. If you just want to think about the manufacturing process, yeah, you have to deduct these 8.1, so you are in a range of 7.5, 7.6. So looking for a cotton and a polyester knit-woven material, you are in the same area, 18.8, 20 kg, minus 8.1. Yeah, it's a little bit more, but it's a similar dimension. No? And what is it about leather? Here, we also have investigated, or she has investigated, chemical production which are used for making leather, transportation of wet blue, wet white, leather production, the wastewater treatment, again, the use in the car was 8.1, and then the final disposal. And here's a big difference. Here you see a minus 0.3 kg CO2, which means actually it generates energy, and the energy can be used, but it has no negative or positive, in this case, CO2 impact, because it is climate neutral, as discussed before. If you have a material coming made out of oil, yeah, then of course you have a big contribution here in the final disposal as well. No? So if you add up everything here for leather, you come out to 17.2 kg of CO2 equivalent. That's actually similar to the other ones, if you remember. Yeah. So, but the big question mark is how much CO2 gets allocated from the step before during cattle farming. Yeah, and here the EU has done an evaluation, which I share with you here, and which is you can see on the homepage from the Coutances. Yeah, it's the official category rule now in Europe. It says 100% of a cow. Yeah, the value of a cow is 88% is going into the milk and dairy industry. Yeah, if a cow for 10 years gives milk, yeah, this is a huge, huge value the cow is generating. Yeah, in addition to his body. Yeah, and then therefore only 12% is going into the body, because so much is going into the cheese, dairy, yogurt, and this milk industry. And from the body, 97% of the body goes into the meat industry, and only 3% out of the body is going into the hide by weight. Yeah. Therefore, if you then take the 3% out of the 12% and out of the 100%, yeah, then you come on 0.42% of the cow is actually the value and the weight of hide. And if you then make out of a hide the genuine leather and 70% the byproducts, and you use up the byproducts, then you can allocate out again 70% in this stream and 30% in this stream. And then only 0.14% of the farming of a cow should be allocated to genuine leather. And if you do this, yeah, then you come to 3 kg of CO2 equivalents, and in total to 20, which is again in the same area than the CO2 emission of the other materials. Yeah, and this is an important thing. Yeah, in many other studies, yeah, they are allocating much more from the cattle farming industry into leather, and they have 60, 70, 80 kg CO2 equivalents what they are allocating, and for me, based really on a wrong assumption. Same like with the water footprint. If you do it right, then we are, again, it's in the same order of magnitude than plastic and cotton, and therefore we can mark it with a green dot. Let me come to my final point aspect, biodegradability. Yeah, here we need to differentiate two different aspects, which are very often mixed up. Bio-based origin, that means the raw material are coming from the nature, and biodegradable materials, which means the material I'm going to use after use is capable to biodegrade. Yeah, this is not the same. It can be the same, but it is very often not the same. So therefore, we have this coordination system here. Yeah, on this X line, you see on the right, the material is biodegradable and it's not biodegradable. And on the Y scale, you see it comes from a renewable origin, the raw material, or it comes from fossil source. Yeah. So then you generate actually 4 different types of materials. The first one is a synthetic polymer, which could be polyester, PVC, polyurethane. Yeah, they are coming from oil, from a fossil source, and they are not biodegradable. I put them in red because it's the worst scenario from a climate perspective. Then you have materials which are coming from, which are made out of oil, but which are produced in the nature, they are biodegrading. Yeah, these are caprolactam and succinamates and so on. Special plastics, the BASF is very strong in this area. These are fossil-based materials, but biodegradable. I put them in yellow, same like this, because they are only partly good. They are still from fossil source, but at least they are biodegradable. If you look this the other category here, they are not biodegradable, but from renewable origins like cellulose acetate or like eco-PUs based out of enzymes and so on. And there is a last category. These are bio-based polymers, which are made out of a renewable origin and which can still biodegrade. And this is leather, this is cotton. Yeah, and most of the chemicals which are naturally based, as we use in the leather industry. And here we have a big opportunity, and this is an advantage of leather. That's why I put this in green. And you will never find a piece of leather in the stomach of a whale. It doesn't biodegrade. It will never reach a whale. It has been biodegraded before. And if it comes to an ocean, a piece of leather. Yeah. So this is a big difference, biodegradability of leather. and compared to synthetic materials. So, having this point also, we can make it a green dot, and this I really believe is a natural advantage with what we have with our piece of leather. And if you sum up everything, yeah, leather can be sourced from a safe, audited production process. Its chemistry is proven to be safe and harmless for environment and human health. And it's based to 70 to 90% at least on renewable raw material base. Then, of course, we can state finally that the use of leather, if all these things are taken into account, is the ultimate sustainable choice of a material. Yeah, this is my presentation. I have given already several times, and I'm also now sharing with you. And I hope there were some arguments you were able to use, and which are maybe new to you, but I think very important to know. So I hope I was able to be that people could understand me. I had no chance to check. Hello?
Hello, Dietrich?
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Ah, good. So there was some voice in between, speaking in between, but I hope everybody was able to understand and to listen.
Yeah, I also guess so. Everyone clearly understand what you talk about. I think they forgot the mood function.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a little fault. But thank you very much. This valuable presentation. It's a great to hear to that. But I will ask if there are some questions to the participants.
Yeah, please do so.
Yeah.
Please do so.
Is there any questions? So you can write from the chat button and I can translate to D3 if you want, or you can directly ask. So I will be waiting for you for the questions. John Hopper wrote, D3, can you also see the chat? You can also see the chat position. D3, does this allocation?
No, I can't see this. Oh, wait. Yes, I have the chat box. Yes.
Yeah, you can also see there's an English question there, or addition, actually, like a little bit of addition, I guess.
Actually, wait. Dietrich, does this allocation hold true for cattle breed for beef production rather than dairy? Ah, okay. Yeah, very good question. If it's from you, John. Yeah, from you, John Hopper. Yeah, hi, John. And last time we met in India, I think. Yeah. Yes. The EU has taken an average. You know, a certain amount of cattle are also wild bulls, right? No? And but the vast majority are calves. They are slaughtered in a very early stage, after half a year or so, half a year or 1 year. The male calves, and then the cows are a very high percentage. The milk cows are a very high percentage of the cattle. Therefore, this study was actually done together with the meat industry. Yeah, it was not a study from Coutons here, from our leather union in Europe. It was done from leather and in conjunction with the meat industry. So these, what was it, 90% or 80% was an average then. Yeah. Yes. Did it answer your question?
Yeah, thank you.
Is there any questions? Do you have any questions still? Do you have more questions? I can also translate the English to Turkish to English. So if you have questions in Turkish, I can help. So Dimitri, we will wait a little bit second. So
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I've still a few minutes.
I will talk Turkish for asking questions, okay?
Yeah.
Türkçe sorunuz varsa, yani sorunuz varsa ben kendisini çevirebilirim. Chat kısmına yazabilirsiniz. Yeah, I guess no questions. Dimitri?
So I was self-explaining, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, but it's a very nice presentation. We learned a lot and about this sustainability and the importance of the sustainability. And I guess everyone take different parts of your presentation and use in their business lives. Thank you, just sharing your excellent experience with us. Thank you very much.
I have to think. Okay, and have a great session further.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah, hope to see
Thank you.
one day.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye. Thank you for the participants, for everyone. Thank you very much for the session participant. Okay, see you. I'm closing the session.